When I drop these names to you, it seems like a no-brainer they should be in the Hall. Nick Lidstrom, Phil Housley, Chris Pronger. Enough said with just those names alone. But how about Eric Lindros? And that's one I want to throw out to you guys. For the sixth straight year, Eric Lindros has been eligible for the Hockey Hall of Fame, and for the sixth straight year, he has been denied. And of course, there is a no-talk policy. They do have confidentiality agreements, so they can't really explain as to why they didn't choose him over some others. But if you look at Eric Lindros and his body of work, do you believe that he should at least had a nod for the Hall of Fame?
I didn't get to see him in his prime. I was probably only 8 years old when he retired, so.
Making us feel old here.
Yeah, a little tough for me to speak on that. But, I think it's just a matter of time. If you look at his numbers, it's not this year he's getting put in, but I imagine he will be put in eventually. But you got to get guys like Lidstrom in there early because, they were the face of the NHL for so many years that you got to make sure they're in there.
You gotta look at the classes he's been against, and there's some really tough classes, like a lot of locks. Like take this year, like that's at least 3 of the 4 were locks. Last year, same thing. It was like every year there's like one guy he has to battle, and that guy you could probably make a better thing for because he's won cups, he's won trophies. Like Lindros hasn't done that. Like let's be honest. Like he's a great player. He's done a lot of points. But he doesn't have a Stanley Cup. He has 1 Olympic gold from a team that was completely stacked. I don't think he has that body of work in order to put him in that next level. Like points is one thing, but I think unfortunately championships do matter, especially when you're in that 4th spot trying to work your way in.
And that's what you see. Well, the exception of Phil Housley. Phil Housley hasn't really won a Stanley Cup, but you look at the other guys that you're seeing, Lidstrom, Sergei Fedorov, the other guy, who by the way had the greatest answer when he realized that he was being accepted into the Hall of Fame. And if you haven't seen it, make sure you check that out. But you look at Eric Lindros, why hasn't he been picked? Like I know that you talk about depth, but could it possibly be, because Peter Forsberg is in the Hall of Fame. He is pretty much in the same boat as Eric Lindros, a guy who had tons of promise, scored so many goals, just lighting it up, but was decimated by injuries and his career was cut short. Same thing with Eric Lindros. But I see Eric Lindros as that guy who was perceived as a jerk, a guy that people didn't really like, but you look at Peter Forsberg, he's probably one of the most friendliest, one of the guys who's well respected within the league, and I think that's why he got the nod. Is that a fair assessment, Andrew?
It'd be a good assessment because the guys like Tom Barrasso, the same reason. People has bad attitude as well, and no one wants to put him in. I'll say with Forsberg has a cup. He has international success, Olympic success. There's a lot more that goes into this than just say points and maybe attitude, but his attitude is a big one. Like him coming in the league the way he came in didn't help him, and the way he's kind of left the league hasn't helped him as well. So he's turned a little bit of a leaf, but your attitude does judge. I think it should go into the character of the person you're putting into the Hall of Fame, not just who you are as a hockey player, but who you are as a complete person as well.
Okay, guys, the National Hockey League is set to expand. Not quite yet. But you look at it, a $500 million buy-in is what's kind of being said. And on top of that, you have the owners that have to approve the person coming in. You look at Quebec City with Quebecor, a big corporation that has tons of money. And then all of us on the other end, you have Las Vegas, which looks very appetizing. And I think they should get a team. And I'll start with you, Andrew Kep. What do you think? Which city should get an NHL team?
I think it's Vegas, no-brainer.
What's the reason?
You have so many different people coming in and out. You're in Vegas doing other stuff. Why not go to a hockey game? They have so many other options. I don't know why they wouldn't have hockey there.
Like how you said, $500 million buy-in. Perfect for Vegas. But other than Vegas, I'm going to say Seattle or that area. You play in that area. You probably know they have a really good hockey environment up there. They're building. They have all those major junior teams. I think that's another city. Plus, it keeps that whole West-East thing kind of aligned. Sorry, Quebec. Not again.
But, so you're saying Quebec would be out of even though they have the NHL-ready arena that's being built as we speak?
I'm going to count them out just because of that East-West thing. I think it means a lot more than what the NHL is going to perceive. I think it does matter that you do not want to shift a team like Detroit or Columbus back over.
Okay, how about, for example, if Arizona, if the NHL moved Arizona, if Arizona stays, whatever, 30 teams are in the NHL, but they said we're going to expand 2 more. Where would they go? Would you give one to Vegas?
Yes, for sure.
You say Vegas? You definitely say
100%
Vegas.
Vegas.
Would you give it to Quebec?
No.
There's got to be somewhere else over there on the east side that wants a team other than Quebec.
Maybe Hamilton? You want to add another Canadian team in there?
I don't know if they can handle it.
Okay. Well, that's definitely interesting to see what happens. I'm hoping that we do see a couple of teams, but I do like what you say, Andrew. They definitely have to have their team in Vegas. That'd be pretty cool. How about this? Moving on to something that's been a little more serious than the injury front. It's only been 1 week in the CFL, and we're talking about quarterbacks dropping like flies. You look at what happened with the Montreal Alouettes. They lost not only their starter, but their backup. And then you look at Mike Riley getting injured for the Eskimos in his first game. He's out 10 to 12 weeks with a torn PCL and MCL. And then you look at the Riders situation with Darian Durant, losing him on a freak play. The guy was just jumping up, and he landed funny, tearing his ACL, gone for the year. Which CFL team is going to be hurt more by the loss of their starting quarterback?
You have to go with the Rough Riders for sure, I think. Durant's a proven quarterback in the CFL, and they only have 2 other quarterbacks other than him, so they're going to have to find another guy. And if one more gets hurt, that's not looking pretty for Saskatchewan at all. So
The great thing about Montreal is it happened in 2 plays that both their guys were gone. So I think that's got to really hurt. Though you lost not just your starter, your backup. So now you're on the 3rd string guy who probably didn't get any reps during the preseason.
Who's a Canadian quarterback. And yeah, exactly. The 3rd-team guy's not going to get
Like
many.
at least with Durant and Riley, at least it's like first time of the like first game of the year. You have the rest of the year to figure it out. The Riders last year fell off the train after 9-10 weeks, and they had to figure out, and they lost it because of that. Now you have an entire season to figure it out. Your backup was there. Montreal going to have a hell of a time trying to figure out what to make their 3rd guy come in and outplay the rest of the year. Like, have fun.
All right, guys, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we return, we're going to have Over Under coming up next.